Let's get some reaction to last night's match and speak to former Everton striker Kevin Campbell. It was doubly bad for you, Kevin, not only a former Everton striker but a former Arsenal striker as well, seeing Tottenham win that one 5-0. But Everton were poor. What do you put that down to?
Look, Everton have been poor away from Goodison Park all season. Been very difficult times. It seems like they're Jekyll and Hyde. At Goodison Park, they seem to be able to produce good performances, especially now that Frank Lampards there. But away from home, they've never got it together. And obviously that really is down to the players. They've got decent players who should be showing more, should be doing a lot better, but they haven't been good enough away from home. And teams like Tottenham are going to expose them if they're not doing the basics correctly. And it seems as though Frank Lampard, he's never really had the opportunity, obviously, to check out the centre-halves and make moves. And the difficult thing now is these players are the ones who are going to have to get him out of the mire away from home, because they just have not been good enough. And if they don't produce and don't do the basics right, they're going to really struggle. I fear for them.
So, Kevin, I mean, Frank Lampard said afterwards that he's seen plenty to be pleased with in recent weeks going forward. So what did you make, first of all, of him saying that? Because kind of by what you're saying, you've not been so pleased with what you've seen. And just how much of a setback is this last night?
Yeah, I think when you look at Everton's performances, again, at home, the home form has been good. They've defended very well. They've played, they played Manchester City previously and really come unstuck because of a real poor VAR decision, which could have got them a point against, the best team in the country, probably best team in Europe at the moment. But away from home, Everton have been so poor, it's scary. The same players that perform at home are not performing away, and they haven't performed all season. Whichever way you look at it, whichever manager's been in charge, they haven't performed. So what you have to do, you have to try and stiffen it up. You have to try and get them going. You have to do something. Now, the next two games are at home. They need to turn up, because now the relegation battle is really on. It really is. And if a lot of these players think it's just going to be easy, it is not, because it really does get pressurised down there.
It definitely does. And Jamie Carragher last night on Monday Night Football said that Everton's defence was a championship back four, and I have it on very good authority from a very good source that you said on a podcast last night, at the age of 52, you would fancy your chances of getting a couple of goals against that defence. So how does Lampard fix that? Whether it's home or away, it's still the same defence.
Yeah, it is. And here's the thing. When you're playing at home and the crowd's behind you, the back four, especially the two centre halves, seem to be doing okay. They do fine, but it's away from home. If you cannot read what is happening off the ball, then you're gonna struggle. That's why I fancy myself to play against these guys when you're not reading the play. People are running off the centre halves and they're getting in. Harry Kane had a field day last night and could have scored a few more. Spurs it could have been 7 or 8 last night, if I'm honest with you. But the basics are, if you're a defender, you have to defend right. Now, Everton haven't been able to do that, and I'm sure this is going to be big concern for Frank Lampard.
Yeah, and I mean, they are just 1 point above the bottom three. Worse goal difference than Burnley. You've already alluded to the games that they've got coming up. It is a really tricky run-in towards the end of the season as well. Just, briefly, if you can sum it up, I mean, how concerned are you? I think you've already answered that.
No, I'm really concerned. Solely because, look, I think they've got enough attacking talent going forward. But if you can't stop goals going in at the other end, you're always going to be in big danger. So they've got to address that defence. However they do it on the training ground, Frank Lampard and Ashley Cole and the guys, I'm sure they'll work it out. But you've got to be able to do the basics defensively first.
Kevin, thank you. Great to speak to you this morning.
Thank you.